entire universe, who possesses intention, motivation, purpose, the energy of creation, self-guided direction. Guess who? You. Yes, the ordinary human being, who's not so ordinary after all. You didn't realize that the little shivering me that was sitting over here was so damn important to the function of this whole thing, of the whole universe, did you? The activating principle is you. And you also noticed in that pic that it wasn't even the whole of you. That the law of attraction, the universe, and all things was just a part of you. And that the real relationship that you have is that it is just a part of you. And it's a part of you like your hands and your eyes and your feet that you need to learn to use. Just like you learn to feed yourself, you learn to walk, you learn to speak, you learn to ride a bike, you learn to master this instrument of the body so that it could be expressive for you. Now, when you learn to ride a bike, you didn't just sit there and look at the bike, you didn't pray to the bike, you didn't sit there and visualize the bike, you got on the damn bike and you started to ride it. And you rode it and you fell off, and you rode it and you fell off, and you kept riding it until the body learned how to maintain the very subtle corrections it needed to keep you upright. You didn't even really do it. All you had was the intention. You didn't know how to make the body do it. You didn't say, oh, we're leaning, I think you better sit up now. You didn't. It just started to lead. The body automatically sought the stable position of upright. But your intention was clear and unyielding. You knew other people were riding a bike. You knew you could do it too. And you were going to do it. Your intention remained completely unyielding and relentless. And you simply, not knowing the how, kept going with that until the entire body of you stabilized in a place where eventually you could take your hands off the wheel, you could go fast, you could do tricks, you could do all sorts of stuff. Before you knew it, you would ride without even thinking about it. So remember what we talked about, that it is an authority you have over this law. So you don't need to barter anymore. You don't need to start making deals or justifying what you need or I really need this. No, it's not. I just don't want it. I really need it. It's like start honoring all of you, all of your desires. In Law of Attraction 1.0, they would say ask and it is given. In 2.0, I say command and it is done. This is what I did when I invented those revolutionary, those award-winning systems. Something else I didn't point out. I had no degree in computer science. As a matter of fact, when I was doing this, there was no such thing. It didn't come later. It was like 10 years after I already started doing all this kind of stuff that the colleges started offering a degree in computer science. There was no such thing. And on top of that, I had no degree at all. I couldn't even get through junior college. And what I did was as a music student, right? Flying, the airplane was invented by 2 bicycle mechanics in Dayton, Ohio. It was not invented by a bunch of aeronautical engineers. They came later. They studied it, refined it, put it down in terms of theory and law. There was a bunch of stuff written about it, a couple of bicycle mechanics. I was a lot like them. I knew this, though. The universe maintains balance. If there's an ear, there must be a voice. If there's a problem, there must be a solution. What we're really, really seeking in this whole law of attraction thing is freedom. We want the freedom to have what we need. We want freedom from fear, freedom from insecurity. We want freedom to be able to express ourselves fully, to indulge ourselves fully without worrying about all the consequences of, oh God, I made a terrible mistake and now I'm going to be punished. We want a sense of freedom in life, a sense of self-expression, a sense of presence, a sense of being able to make choices that are fun and interesting and vivid and enlivening and really help ourselves and others. That's what we want. But I want to tell you a little secret about freedom. Freedom feels like uncertainty. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel safe. When a lot of people say they're seeking freedom, what they're really seeking is safety. They want a sense of safety that lets them do something. Well, if I got this taken care of, then I can go do what I want with my life. So they're forever seeking safety. What you really want is freedom. And freedom feels like uncertainty. It feels like instability. It feels like not knowing. By definition, freedom is, I don't know. I'm just moving ahead with it. You know, one of those bicycle mechanics, Orville Wright, was challenged by someone who asked him, isn't flying dangerous? I mean, obviously it was. They got beat up a lot as they were trying to learn how to fly and make an airplane that would work, which took them 3 years, by the way, to finally have an airplane. After the first flight, 3 years before they had an airplane that was useful for anything, go fast enough and high enough and stay in the air long enough and be steerable enough that you could use it for moving a person or a package or something around. And so when asked, isn't flying dangerous? Orville responded, safety is sitting on the fence watching life go by. Freedom also feels exhilarating. Feels exhilarating. Have you ever done something you're really kind of afraid to do? And you do it? That feeling, it's like, oh yeah, I mean, it feels nervous, it feels uncertain and stable, you don't know what's going to happen. That's freedom, and that's what we're avoiding. Safety doesn't have that feeling. Safety feels, I feel safe, I'm good now. So now if you're willing to feel uncertain, if you're willing to kind of push forward into your own life, step into your own life, then it's time for principle number 5. We are principle number 5. This is a real key one. It's a term that I coined myself. Now remember, the law of attraction is a spiritual law. It's a metaphysical law. It exists within us. It exists and works according to our own authority. It's pure potential. It lies dormant and remains infinite potential until it is activated by who? Yes, by you. It always responds to your authority, whether you feel that authority or not. Without you, it is absolutely dormant. But you are always active. There's always something going on inside. You're always asserting something. So if the law exists within us and is actually exercised by us, and our external environments reflect it back to us, I call it the law of reflection. I think that's a much more accurate term. Rather than attraction has that sense of there's me here, there's all the goodies that I want here, there's the law of attraction in between, and I'm kind of trying to drag them on over to me in some way that I can. The law of reflection means the universe is a mirror reflecting back to me everything I am. I coined that term because I think it's really closer to the spiritual truth of the law of attraction. It isn't attraction, it is reflection. So you don't have trying to make a connection to something outside of yourself. It is actually being reflected back from inside of yourself, which means the outer is the inner. If you want to lose weight, you don't muck with the mirror. You don't try to squeeze the mirror. You actually have to change yourself so that the mirror reflects something different back to you. This may seem like a little bit out there, but I want you to take it in. I want you to take it in. The inner is the outer. The outer does not exist by itself. It is now and always a reflection of who you are. It is the law of reflection. The universe is a mirror giving back to us exactly the views we're holding about ourselves, about the truth, about the nature of reality. It's all a reflection. Look around. everything around you is saying something about what's inside of you. And this brings us to what I consider to be probably the most mind-blowing of all of this, principle number 6. Principle number 6, and this really is mind-blowing. When you understand that everything in the universe is being reflected back to you, everything is coming from you, is being reflected back to you. It's not even actually going out there. It's simply a mirror showing you who you are, at least who you think you are, who you believe yourself to be. What that means is something extremely, extremely important. The law of reflection is real time. Everything happening in your life is being generated real time. It is spontaneously appearing. Do you remember when I drew the picture before? I drew the picture of there was the universe and the law of attraction, right? And the first time I drew it, I drew a bunch of little green circles. That these are all the things that you want that are sitting out there that are going to come to you. Remember I did that? But in the second one, I didn't have those. I only had you on the outside. I did that because the reality is that those things get created in real time. They don't exist and then you bring them to you. When you are clear within yourself, when the energy is completely congruent, they spontaneously are created. This is one of those times when I actually do reference quantum. I'm not a quantum physicist. I'm not trying to take that as some kind of authority that I have because of that. But it does give us a shift in perception, because in quantum, the quantum particles will actually appear and disappear. They go into existence and go out of existence. They'll pop into existence in 2 places at the same time, and then they go out of existence. So this isn't that weird. Well, it's very weird thinking, but it's not how we normally think of things. We think of things as having this continuous life, and they're just out there, and then I got to somehow grab it. They appear spontaneously, right out of your very soul. All the events in your life behave that way. They're being created in this moment, like a dream you're having at night. Dream has no history. It's like the image is just suddenly being created. Now, this will revolutionize your perceptions. I want you to consider the effect your past is having on your present, of the traumas that you experienced, the bad relationships, the history of bad things going, maybe successes, losing money, losing family, losing people you love, not being able to get what you want out of life. All of these are the pictures you're holding of the past, right? But where are you holding them? You're holding them right now. You're holding a picture of the past in the present. Now, does the present actually exercise any authority over you? Is the past actually present? No, it's not. It's gone. It's gone forever. The event you experienced is gone forever. But your energetic feelings about it, the energetic pattern of it, your thinking about it, your beliefs about it, they're present. I want to make something really, really clear. The past has no power over you whatsoever. I don't care what the event is. I don't care how severe it is. It has no power whatsoever. What does have power is what you are thinking and believing about it right now. That thought, that set of thoughts and beliefs, and there's some depth to those, we'll get into that those sets of thoughts and beliefs are what are creating right now, this moment. And I hope you can glimpse what that means is that you have the opportunity right now to let those beliefs and thoughts go forever. Because it isn't what actually happened that's causing you distress right now. It is, in fact, what you're thinking about it. So if you think you can't have a good relationship now because of the way your father treated you, You actually can't have a good relationship now because you don't believe you can have a good relationship now. And your belief is based on the way your father treated you. It has nothing to do with your father. It has your belief about it. You are the authority. Remember, if you believe it's so, then it's so. It's not the way your father treated you. It's because you believe something about the way he treated you that has created a limitation. It isn't a limitation. You are. This is what is so powerful about recognizing that the law of reflection is real time. Everything going on in your life is being generated in this moment. And this is subtle beyond our wildest imaginations because we have all sorts of ideas about the past and the distant past and past lives and karma and all these things that are affecting us. But the only thing that is affecting you is what you are feeling, thinking, believing right now, right in this moment. Nothing other than that is affecting your life. Now please take that in. What you are experiencing as your present is what you believe about the past or anticipate about the future. And it is neither the future nor the past. It is right now. Now, I know that may seem a bit controversial. I mean, we are all very attached to our past. Well, this happened because of this, and she said that, he said this, and they did that, and they did this to me, and this is why I am the way I am. We're very attached to that story. But if it were possible to just let that whole story go in a second, would you be willing to do it? Now, I know that there are many layers, that sometimes you can get this on one level consciously, and that you can feel an emotional resistance to that, because there's still an emotional attachment to the story and everything. And we can delve into that. What I want you to understand is even that emotion is actually being generated right now from the very deepest beliefs we're holding about ourselves. All of our thoughts, all of our feelings, all of our sensations, all of our emotions, all the experience we have, every bit of it, every last bit of it is being generated real time right now. This is a total shift of perception as to how we look at our life. The law of attraction is now. It is the power of now, if you want to reference Eckhart Tolle. It is presence. It is you. And now that you've actually had a glimpse of the law of reflection being real time, and that it reflects you, I'm not going to leave you hanging out there, because I know you have a lot of thoughts about, well, all this stuff did happen, and there's all sorts of stuff going on inside of you. So the next thing we need to do to really kind of wrap this all up is to get to principle number 7. It's time to take a look more deeply at you.